Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We got Coach Mike here. So, the concept for today, we were just talking earlier, and I threw an idea at Mike that I thought was pretty good, and then kind of like disagreed with me, and I was like, oh, you know what? Actually, maybe that is not a good idea. So, that is the idea we're going to talk about. Sometimes in jiu-jitsu or in life, you know, you think you're right and you're not, and you got to be like, okay, let's reassess. So, thoughts about this, Mike?
So, yeah, and I think it's cool. So, one thing that I think you guys would be interested to know about these videos is pretty much 99.9% of the time, it is given to me like 2 minutes and then we're pressing play, right? So, like, it's, I like the authenticity of it, right? So when it was presented, we had just some different thoughts, and we think we should maybe go deeper about it before we get into it. But what it did is it presented a different topic for today, which is, you know, like being open-minded to changing your current like ideals for as far as jiu-jitsu goes for me. For example, we were talking about how if you were taking a class from me, I would say pre-pandemic, and I was teaching the rear naked choke, I taught it not as good as it should have been taught, but I was teaching it to the best of my abilities. I was teaching it to the best of my knowledge. But since then, new things have been shown to me, so now I think I teach it better, you know? So being able to be like, oh yeah, I believe this, but being presented with, you know, something different and being like, oh shit, yeah, never mind. You know, like is kind of where we were going with that.
Yeah, and it's a pretty simple concept. I just open-mindedness, like you know. Additionally, even if something's working really well for you, that you should still be open-minded. Where it's like, you know, you might have somebody say like, oh, actually try this, and you're like, oh shit, now it works even like 10,000 times better.
Yes, yeah. Actually, I have a great example of that. So my guillotine, you know, called Big Fish in a Little Pond. I have one of the best guillotines for like the group that I train with, and or like the local, more local-ish level of competition. You know, I've won a lot of jiu-jitsu matches with my guillotine, and a handful of my MMA fights with my guillotine as well. So I took a lot of pride in it, like, you know, and I had what I considered a unique version of it. It wasn't an arm in, it was an arm out, but it wasn't a high elbow, and it kind of more so used like the pit of the wrist. I didn't know that it used that. And then we had Silver Fox in for a seminar, and he kind of taught the guillotine, and it was exactly the way that I was doing it, and I got really excited about it because it was like affirmation or whatever. Like, it like proved like, oh, here's this guy who's much more knowledgeable than me, has tons more experience, who I look up to as like you know, a coach. Like, I want to be a coach as good as he is in my coaching abilities, and I want to I model a decent portion of my jiu-jitsu game off him, and I'm like, oh yeah, like I came up with this like on my own separately from you, and it matches, so like yeah, I'm on the right track, I'm doing the right things. But then, as you would guess, he had certain things to add in, which made what I considered already my best technique even better. All right, yeah, so like being open to that, because like, you know, a lot of us like, oh, that's my thing is this, my thing is that, right? So like you're almost like, this is how I do it, and it's perfect that way. So like, you know, it can be better.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I think that's pretty much all for that topic for now. I don't have any additional ideas. I don't know if you.
No, I mean, I could go over the change on the choke, give them some like technique for today.
Oh, why don't we do that? We'll do that we'll put that in another video, but we'll do it right now. We'll end this video, cool. And then we'll do. So you have to watch the next video. Awesome. So we'll have more content.
There we go.
It's all about
right. Hey, you're the brand.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you next time. Come down and train. I was thinking about like having an open, like for any YouTubers out there, they'll also do jiu-jitsu. Just come down and train with us. You know, we're more than happy to do some roll videos, maybe some commentary videos, like a podcasting type of thing, maybe some talking like this.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So come down and train with us, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Coach Mike, and be safe wherever you are. It's real.
It just